With that, Alfred took a hold of his dad's arm, and together they took a step forward into the darkness that comprises the world in between the two realms. As they were speeding along, Tony Stark explained all of these things about the 12 Years' War, the witch being Alfred's real mother, and him being a god, to his son. Finally, they arrived at Stark, and Iron Man turned and looked at Alfred, and he said, "Son, close your eyes and concentrate. Concentrate on everything that you feel makes up who you are." So Alfred closed his eyes really, really tight, and he thought. He thought about how he had fun with his dog, how he liked to cook, how he felt like he could do anything when he ran, and how he was really, really smart. So after like 5 minutes, Iron Man said to him, "When you hold everything that you feel makes up who you are really, really tightly in your mind, clap your hands once and bow your head." So Alfred did. He clapped his hands once, bowed his head, and then he felt this peculiar sensation, like he was glowing, or he was growing very, very, very warm, like sun was coming out of him. And he opens his eyes, and he was glowing, and the light got so bright that he couldn't see himself anymore. But when it died away, he was who he was, the boy Alfred, and he was like, "Whoa, I can do that! That's so cool!" And Iron Man said to him, "You are a god, so normal rules don't apply to you. You can make yourself look however you want to, as long as you're on the planet Stark. If you go back to Earth, then you're stuck in however way you have made yourself." And he looks at him and he goes, "Son, you have a decision that you have to make. You can stay here and be the prince and get anything that you want, or you can go back to Earth." And Alfred looked around and for the first time and was like, this is a really beautiful place. But then he remembered his mom, the woman that had brought him up for his whole life back home, and he said, "Well, can my mom come?" And Iron Man said, "No, I'm sorry, she can't." So Alfred looked down, he closed his eyes tightly, clapped his hands, bowed his head, and when the glow faded, he looked like he had before, but he was a little bit taller, a little bit stronger, you know, a little bit cooler looking. And he said, "I think I want to go back now." So he went back, and when he was 18, he went back to Stark, and he took over ruling from Iron Man, and he changed the rules so then his mom could come, and they hunted down the witch, and they threw her in jail because she was a bad person, and they all lived happily ever after. Happily ever after. And that is the end of our story, folks.